Now I'm going to make this a quick intro for you today for a couple of reasons. First, I just got back from the farm. You can probably tell I'm not wearing my regular work clothes, and this tie takes just a little bit longer than normal. Now the pattern I want to do for you today is the Royal Coachman bucktail. Now I'm not going to go into the history of the Royal Coachman. I've done that in another video and there's plenty of information out there on it. But like any great pattern, it spawned all kinds of variations over the years. You've got the original wet fly, then a dry fly version, there's a beadhead nymph version, and a marabou streamer, and then the one I'm going to do for you today, the bucktail streamer. Now it's not a hard tie, but it's not a quick tie either because there's really just a lot going on. Now I do mention a couple of tips that a new tyer might not be familiar with, but for all you veterans out there, I hope y'all enjoy this too because it really is just a fun pattern to tie. So there it is in the vise, a Royal Coachman bucktail. Pretty cool looking pattern. Not a real quick tie, but not a real complex tie either. Now in Hughes' book, he says sizes 8, 10, 12, 14, and a 4X or 6X long streamer hook. This is a size, I did not pinch that barb, did I? Let's try that again. This is a size 10, and it's a 4X long. So 4X long, size 10 streamer hook. I want to use some black thread. This is a 140 denier. I'll catch it in toward the back. Take it all the way back to the bend. And like a lot of Royal Coachmans, the tail is golden pheasant tippets. And this is the centerpiece. I've used this feather for quite a few other flies already. So you can just use the centerpiece if you have one and just kind of pinch it together. Do a little pinch wrap right here. And I like if you can get both of the black bars showing. Sometimes you can't. Depends on the feather you have, but let's go ahead and lift this up and put one under it. Just try to keep it propped up a little bit. I think we're going to be fine right there. Now think of the body section as, 4 parts. And how I've been doing this, or trying to, and according to the one in the picture, maybe a fourth of the body is going to be peacock herl at the back, and then half of the body will be a red floss, and then the front half will be, or front fourth, will be peacock herl again. And the front one you don't have to worry so much about because a lot of it's going to be covered with a soft hackle, but we can go for that. We can try to keep those proportions. I think it looks good. So go ahead and wrap this up to where our thread is and then tie it off. Okay, if that's not a fourth, it's pretty close. Let's go ahead and take our thread up to where we want to catch in the floss. Let's say about right there. And pull that back just a little. You know what, I'm gonna have to do that again because I'm making a little bit of a mess right here. There we go. Now I'll wrap it back to where I want to start wrapping this red. Okay, that'll work. Now go ahead and park your thread up here. And it's not a thick body. Most Royal Coachmans aren't. So I'm going to wrap it up and then back and up again. So I will effectively put 3 layers down. So it'll get a little bit of bulk, but it's still not going to be real thick. I'll go ahead and speed this part up. Okay, when you get it up front, go ahead and catch it off. And I doubt you could tell when I was speeding that up. I tried to let my floss flatten out a little bit to just keep the body as smooth as possible. Now let's catch in 2 more strands of peacock herl. Go a little bit forward right there. Okay, I think that will work right there. Don't take your thread too far up because we do have a hackle and a wing. So go ahead and wrap this one up, and if you can get it about the same size as the back one, that's great. But again, a lot of it is going to be covered, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. And next up is our collar hackle. Nothing fancy, just brown hen right here, and I'll go ahead and strip off a little bit of this fluff on the bottom. All right, let's catch this in right here. We're gonna need enough room for, I would say 3 wraps, maybe 4. Now take your hackle pliers if you want. I am sometimes just too lazy to do that, so I'm gonna risk it and hope I can get 3 wraps with my fingers here. And it looks like I did, so a couple wraps to catch that in. Now I'm gonna lick my fingers, pull everything back. And just create a nice flat spot here. Going back, don't be afraid to go way back on it here to give us room to catch in this bucktail. And maybe that might be 1 wrap more than I should have done. It's a little bushy, but you know what? I kind of like it. Now the wing is a white bucktail. Now here's a tip when I'm tying any bucktails. I snip off about 1/3 more than I'm going to need, and I can just manually, with my fingers pull out some really long ones, and then I'll grab it by the tips and then just kind of pull out some of the shorter hairs right there. Now I've got about what I want, and it will stack much easier. Okay, let's see how well this stacked right here. Okay, I think that's going to work fine right there. I want the wing to be about to the bend of the hook, maybe not as far back as the tail. And I'm going to spin my thread clockwise here to cord it up just a little bit. Get that one crazy one right there, but I think our wing will push that down. So I'm cording up my thread so it'll get a tighter bite right here. Take a pinch wrap right there. And a second one. Now take a look at it. Okay, that's going to be fine. Now I can put some tight wraps and go forward with them, and hopefully it's not going to spin around on me. That wing is still pretty much on top. I think we're going to be okay. And now just take your thread up right behind the eye and ramp it back up. We can get a big old streamer head here. And I got a little rogue fiber right there coming out of my thread, but we're going to bury that with some head cement. Let's go ahead and whip finish it. And take a look, see if you got any cleanup. Let's go ahead and see if we can pull that hair out right there. Not a hair, but a fiber from our thread. Not really. So I'm just going to put my head cement on it, call it done. So there you go, Royal Coachman bucktail. Pretty fun tie, not real hard, but again, not real quick. So I appreciate you watching, everybody. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time.